Welcome to the Coach Potato Podcast, a podcast about fitness, mental health, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Jessica Yee, and let's get into it. For today's topic, I want to discuss my own personal fitness journey. If we rewind back to episode 1, I talk about how I kind of even got into this field in the first place, why I'm so passionate about strength training, and all of that fun stuff. Well, when I first started this journey, which is a typical thing, is I started with a lot of bodybuilding kind of exercises, routines, all about trying to look good, to all about aesthetics. It was actually really unhealthy. It got to the point where I was like working out twice a day almost for like an hour or two each time. Like I was working out a lot, and it was super unhealthy. And I wasn't eating any healthier or anything like that because my, metabolism was still super fast. Really, it was just me still being in university, walking from one end of campus to the other just to get to class and doing a lot of stairs from the train. So I was still quite active. So I didn't focus on proper recovery. I just ate whatever junk food the university had right in front of me. Spent a lot of money on food. Not very great or sustainable. And then grief came after my mom's passing, and I gained a bunch of weight. And then 2020 hit, and my weight just shot up. Like, I didn't weigh myself at the time, but I swear I was probably 180, maybe even 190, and I just felt helpless. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't have the proper foundations to actually train myself and get myself out of there. Yes, I had the education and the experience to help others, but honestly, a lot of my background was about rehab, prehab, and just like kind of high performance like athletes. That was the last place I was at, and that was the main focus. So to be honest, like when it came to nutrition, when it came to just teaching myself how to get up and move and do basic habit and lifestyle changes, it felt impossible. And I couldn't get myself to do it. And I was trying to do everything, and I went online, which is not always the best thing, but I was getting so confused with a bunch of nutrition advice. I only took really one nutrition class, never really did too much continuing ed in nutrition. I want to now for sure, but I just felt so uneducated, and I was like, if I can't even help myself, how am I supposed to be a trainer and help others? It was a weird moment of like around 2020 where I'm like, I just got to give up, and I shouldn't be in this industry in general. If I can't help myself, I shouldn't be trying to help others. But I started to pick myself up. I started to move a little bit every single day. I finally went outside, started to take literal steps towards the right direction, but also steps like increasing my step count. I got an Apple Watch. I started tracking things. I started to be a little bit more mindful about what I was eating. And yeah, that got me down to about 175-ish in like 6 months. No, it was like probably a year or so of like this slow, gradual process. And to be honest, I was very shocked at how slow things were. I was obsessed with like these certain fad diets I shouldn't be or have been obsessed about, excluding keto. I was on keto for a mental illness reason. It wasn't for necessarily aesthetics, but obviously if it helped, it helped in terms of body weight, but a lot of it was actually water weight now looking back at it. And keto is actually, or any restrictive diet like that, can be very difficult to actually sustain. And while it does kind of work for aesthetics reasons or weight loss reasons, it's just not a good idea to do. It was just I had the motivation to do it, but it was very hard to continue to do still. Also, if you live with someone, it's especially if your partner loves carbs, oh my gosh, the temptation is just through the roof when it comes to keto. But fad diets don't work. Like I said, I was doing it for a mental illness reason. And then, yeah, I don't know what happened, but there was just so much information online that it was just getting very confusing, even for me. And I just didn't know what to listen to or what the brand new like research was. And it felt like everyone had a research article for what they were stating, which be careful online because everyone can have proof on whatever narrative they are trying to promote, really. So just be careful. It's been a journey, and I currently weigh at about 165-ish pounds, and it's been years of work and trying to figure things out, and I'm finally falling back in love with fitness again, strength training, and doing my own thing. Honestly, I don't know if I could have done all of this alone. So I do have a coach who has been helping me with my nutrition, especially my nutrition and figuring out how much protein and stuff like that to eat. Because, like I said, I haven't really gone head first into the whole nutrition world yet. So that has been helpful. Having someone create a workout program for me so I don't have to think too much at the gym. Even if I want to do something different, I can if I want, but at least I already have something in my hands or in my phone and I'm ready to go. And then I've built some accountability, but also a while back I started actually weighing myself and been very consistent with my nutrition tracking, which has been very eye-opening about what is like a lot of calories and what isn't. It will shock you, honestly. Like if you just track for a week what you eat, just like seeing it objectively, it's shocking. The reason I was fighting not weighing myself and not eating better was because I didn't want to know the truth. I didn't want to see the truth. I didn't really grow up eating the best food because of just didn't really matter to me. I love junk food. I love eating out. I never tracked a thing. I don't know. It's like it was never really something I had to be conscious about at the time. And I've learned so much from this fitness journey. Some key takeaways: fad diets don't work. Objective measurements are your best friend, and if you do it consistently, you can really see changes and see how your body adapts. Consistency over motivation. You can't be motivated all the time. You can't just be like, okay, I weigh 190 pounds. I am motivated to lose 1,000,000 pounds today. You have to have the motivation to start, but you cannot be motivated. You have to schedule your workouts in. You have to be objective about it. You have to maybe change the mindset of I have to work out to I get to work out. I know that's cheesy and you probably see that online a lot, but that's just part of it. And it actually does work when you shift your mindset. Just move more in general. Like stand up if you have a really sit down type of job. Don't be frustrated with yourself if the scale doesn't really move. Things really do take time. Like I've been kind of at this on and off since 2020, really trying to lose weight, and I'm finally just hitting this 175 mark from 185 or 190. So it's 2024 now, so I'm sure you can understand how frustrated I was for the longest time, but everything does take time, and eventually if you put the effort in, all of this will become habitual, whether it be protein intake, moving more, doing 8,000 steps a day, whatever it might be, it will become habitual. I promise you, if you just put your mind to it. So this is kind of just a little look into my fitness journey and how that's been going. And yeah, thank you for listening or watching, and I'll see you next week.